Tribalism is not only alive and well in America today, it's actually a key element of social control. The strategy is to put every person into a tribe that then shuts down their self-identity and limits them to the definition of that tribe. It might be the gay tribe, the LGBT tribe. It might be the white person tribe, the black person tribe, the science tribe, the politician tribe. It could be the women tribe, the feminism tribe, or the workers tribe. It could be any tribe at all. And you have to understand how insidious this is. Every person is born with a unique collection of skills and values, experiences, creativity, ideas, inspirations, even connections with the divine. And if not for this tribalism, then people wouldn't be put into predefined boxes and corners and groups, and they would just be who they are. And some people would exist on different ends of the spectrum on every single issue, homosexuality versus heterosexuality, progressivism versus conservatism or libertarianism on the political spectrum, or maybe right brain versus left brain, artistic versus mathematically inclined, fact-based, a scientist versus maybe an artist, a dancer, a painter. And they would be free to be who they are. And that would create more diversity, and that would create really more abundance, more creativity, more ideas free-flowing through our society. But instead of that, what we actually get from the top down is a demand to get back into your box, to be part of the tribe that you belong to, and don't step outside the bounds. You see, don't draw outside the lines. Don't do anything that your tribe wouldn't do. For example, if you're gay, then you have to be a progressive. You can't be a gay conservative, like Milo Yiannopoulos, for example. Or if you're a scientist, then you can't step outside the bounds and start to ponder about the nature of consciousness or spirituality in a mysterious universe. That's not allowed in the science tribe. Or if you're part of the tribe of, let's say, Black Lives Matter, then you're not allowed to support police officers because police officers are put out there as the enemy of Black Lives Matter. And these are just a few examples, but in every case, you have a set of rules that are enforced and mandated, in essence, by your peers. So there's tremendous social pressure to stay within the bounds of the tribe that you are now identifying with. And the demand that we all conform to these tribes comes from the top. It's sort of trickle-down social engineering. And it is enforced by tremendous social pressure and a desire to belong and a desire to be part of something and the fear of being alone and isolated in this world. In fact, we now know, social psychologists have studied this and found that social pressure is the most powerful influencing factor over what we believe to be true and real in the world around us. People will agree with the herd and go along with the social pressure in contradiction to the things that they see with their own two eyes. They will, in fact, displace direct evidence in front of them with the narratives and the messages from the tribe to which they belong. And that's how powerful tribalism is as a weapon, if you will, of social exploitation, of social engineering, of social control, even of political control and political revolutions. It all starts from dividing people with these labels by forcing them into these tribes that have a very tightly defined set of boundaries that you are never allowed to explore or exceed in any way. The upshot of all of this is to keep humanity down and prevent the outbreak, if you will, of inspiration, innovation, freedom of expression, personal creativity, divine inspiration even, connection with spirit. And this is not a coincidence. This is all by design. Humanity is intentionally being kept down and divided and conquered. And our minds are really used as a kind of battlefield of ideas. landmines, in essence, logic bombs are set in place in the terrain of our psychology in order to prevent you from walking outside those bounds and exploring realms that you're not supposed to touch. The greatest explorers today are those who are willing to explore the psychological terrain beyond the artificial boundaries that have been put in place by globalist controllers and social engineers who have essentially said, that terrain over there, that's off limits. You're not allowed to go there because that's dangerous. Well, who's it dangerous to, really? It's dangerous to the globalists. It's dangerous to the social engineers. It's dangerous for people to be allowed to express their freedom and explore who they really are. And it's dangerous for the globalists to allow individuals to achieve their maximum human potential. And the most dangerous thing of all, from the point of view of the globalists, is to allow individuals to connect with higher forms of consciousness or divine inspiration or awakening. In fact, this is such a threat to those in power today that they've gone to great lengths to ban certain molecules that appear in nature, like DMT, because DMT really unlocks the potential of human consciousness and allows people to explore way outside the bounds of what society demands they adhere to. My advice to people is to ignore the artificial limits and boundary warnings that have been put in place by society or your peers. In effect, they're building a fence around your mind and they're putting signs on it that say, this is a consciousness-free zone, do not enter. You're not allowed to go there. And they're setting landmines near there so that if you dare even approach that border, you're going to be psychologically harmed or shamed or ridiculed by your peers. And that's all by design. So it takes great courage, actually, to approach that boundary and go beyond it. And that is the terrain, which happens to be the richest source of real inspiration, real revolution, of the real expansion of human consciousness. It is, in fact, that terrain that is out of bounds that represents the greatest hope for the future of humanity. And it is in realms like that where I operate every day. It makes you a heretic of the modern day society in which you live, but a visionary and a pioneer for future generations who may experience the benefits of having expanded human consciousness. To journey into those realms is to ask to be cast off and shamed and ridiculed by your present-day peers. But it is the ultimate journey of human curiosity, of personal growth, and of spiritual development. And I believe that's the reason why we're here. I don't think that we are here to be obedient conformists, otherwise life would have no real purpose. We are here to challenge the artificial boundaries that have been constructed for our minds. We are here to, in essence, shatter the walls of the matrix and venture into territory that makes the globalists uncomfortable. In other words, wherever in society that you are told, stop, don't go there, in terms of ideas and creativity, that's exactly where you should go, because that is off limits for a reason. And that reason, you will find, is something that is crucial to your personal growth and perhaps the mission why you exist here.